So, guys, this is a good question. How can a narcissist change? Here's what literally has to happen. If you are dating a person that is actually a narcissist, or if you know a person that is actually a narcissist, and they have to change, they have to go from a completely different person than they once were. First thing is first, 99% of the time, this is not going to happen. 99% of the time. So if you know a person like that, if you're with a person like that, you might as well say goodbye, because it's probably not going to happen. I mean, they can make changes and do these things and act and pretend like they're some different person, but most likely they are not. Most likely they are not. They will always resort back to what they were, which is the scary part. If you ever did take them back, like, this shit happened to me. They'd act like the coolest person ever. They'd act like so much has changed after such little time, which was my own stupidity way back in the past. They most likely never will. If your parachute had a 99% chance of not working when you jumped out of a plane, would you jump? No, you wouldn't. So why would you ever go back to a person like that? The answer is you shouldn't. If they want to change, they literally, like, by some divine miracle, they have to completely recreate their entire self, which is not an easy thing to do for these people. Like I said, they'll normally resort back to who they were. They're not going to want to change in the first place. They can fake the funk. They can say, oh, I've changed so much. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. They're not really changing. And they never will. It's just going to be the same person. Once again, once things get back to a certain point, you will see the same exact person you've always seen. So, you could be a guy watching this right now, and you could be dealing with some female, let's say. Guys, let them go. I don't care how good looking they are. I don't care what's going on. You want to cut your losses pretty damn quick. You want to cut your losses. You don't want to mess with a person like that, because it is dangerous to your life, to your well-being, to your future, to the people that's even in your life. It's dangerous for everything involved with yourself, because they are hazardous people that don't know how to act right. They can't do anything right. They're morally fucked up. They're fucked up in every way, shape, and form. And they will mess you up as well if you stick around and you try to make things work with them. I do phone calls with some of you guys, believe it or not. And I'm not saying believe it or not that I do phone calls. What I mean is, believe it or not, these things happen to the point where some of these guys are saying, well, bro, is she ever going to change? Do you think she'll ever change? And all this stuff. And what do you think? Not going to happen. They oftentimes pretend like they do change. They'll put on this little thing and really you want to make you feel, they'll make you feel like they changed. You see how they do that? They make you feel that way, but it's not how it actually is. You don't go off of by the way you feel, you go off of logic. And if we're talking logic about this topic, the logic answer is no, they're not going to change, because they're going to have to, you don't understand what these individuals would actually have to go through, overcome, to actually change. They're not willing to go that deep. They would rather stay stuck in la la land and just not change. Not change their morals, their integrity. They're not going to change any of that. They're just going to keep being the same exact people that they are. Is what they're going to do. So you have to cut those losses. I don't care if it's a person you really liked. I've been there. I had to cut my losses. It is what it is. I saw hella potential, but potential is nothing unless they actually live up to that potential. That's a mistake I made. And when I talk about real potential, there was so much that it wasn't even funny. With a person I shared a lot of life with in the past, and things happen, man. Like, there's better people out there for you if you can cut those losses and just kind of move forward in life. Like, it is what it is. I had to learn the hard way. It was not easy to just completely cut that person and let them go when things were there for the taking. When opportunities present itself again, it's not easy to just let things go that have a lot of potential. But logically, I knew it's just not gonna happen. And like what already happened, just put the nail in the coffin. It's done. It's over. Move on. Forget about that person. There's other people in the world that literally will be better for you. So could you imagine accepting something less? And not only accepting something less, but accepting something that is going to be very destructive in the days to come. Because if you accept a narc, you're accepting destruction that will come, at least, if not now, in the very near future. And you'll be in an even worse place, and an even worse place moving forward. You cannot win with these people. But you can win with the right people by your side. Because they're not going to look to destroy you. They're not going to look to do anything like that to you. Things will rather go good with the right people. But if you got the wrong people that had a lot of potential, but they're not living up to it, it's going to be hell on earth. And there's no way around it. So cut those losses. Pack those bags. You got to get yourself out of that position and keep working hard. Find something different. It is what it is. The only mistake you could make is to stick around, is to continue to give that person a shot and even acknowledge their existence, to be honest, because you should not do that. You should look past them and let things go the right way. There might even be a part of you where you kind of want to save them, you want to help them, you want to help them fix their problems. You can't do this. Like I'm telling you, you are going to hurt yourself trying to fix them. I've been there. It's only going to affect you in a negative way. It has only affected me in a negative way trying to do something like that. You deserve someone that's going to come already made. Not some person you got to recreate yourself and fix and do all these things. That's no one should have to do that kind of stuff, man. Like if they want that stuff to happen, go see a professional. Cause you're just a person, man. Like looking for your significant other, and if they are that way, you can't do that. It's not gonna work. They're not gonna listen to you. Like their heads are not in the right place. And to even think about making things work just boggles my own mind. Like there's nothing you can do. There's no right answers. Even if you say all the right things and do all the right things with these people, like nothing will ever be enough. Nothing. There's nothing you can do. You can do every right thing and it's not going to be enough. It's something these people have to overcome themselves. You can coddle them, you can say all the right things, you can do all the right things. But it's not going to be enough at the end of the day. Like, whatever you try to make happen with these people, I'm telling you guys, it will fail. Like, it will come down. And it's not going to work out. So, if you want to be harder on your own self, keep trying to make it work with those toxic people, but it's only going to waste more time in your own life. I wasted enough time doing that shit in the past, and I learned from it, and that's all there is to it, man. Like, these people, even though they're alive, they're not actually alive. They're not. They don't know what's going on up here. They just don't. And they never will. They couldn't actually just like sit here and have a conversation like this and it means something. Like, anything real makes them crumble. Like, anything that's real. That's the thing with these people. I've seen it. I've tried to be genuine and real with them and try to connect with them to try to really get them on the right page and the right track, but it does not work. Like, they're not capable of connecting in that way because they're so gone. That's the crazy thing. They spend their entire lives like in that shell, manipulating others, telling people what they want to hear so they can get certain things from them, but they're not giving their self to the other person while they want the other person. You see what I'm saying? They are taking power from other people while not giving any power away to the other person, which means they're not giving away any vulnerability. They're not willing to do it. And if you want any relationship or even friendship to work out, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be able to give vulnerability. There has to be some kind of love there. Without love, there is nothing. You see, they don't have love to give. They don't have vulnerability to give to the other person. They don't. And this is what they demand from you. This is what they are craving for to get from other people, all while not being able to give it themselves. So you guys have to seriously watch out for these people. No, they are not playing hard to get. No, they are not doing these things. No, they are not normal. Like, man, I'm telling you guys, even deathly insecure people, you can't make ends meet with these people. I've also talked to girls before and kind of dated girls before that was kind of really closed off. I don't know if they were a full-blown narc or not, but like, they had issues, bro, to the point where they can't give any of themselves away at all. Like, at all. Telling me things like, I don't trust nobody. Every time I hear that, man, it's honestly nothing but dark energy. Like, what you really don't trust is yourself. What you really don't trust is your fucking self. They don't trust themselves to be vulnerable with anybody else because in their minds, everyone else is messed up, everyone else is fucked up, which, yeah, there are a lot of people that are. But they can't even give themselves away to the right people. They cannot be vulnerable to the right people. And it's an issue. And I'm not saying you should give yourself away to everybody. Absolutely not. I ain't going to give myself away to the wrong people. But when you choose a person, when it comes to the right person, there was never a problem doing that. But for them, it could be the perfect opportunity, the perfect person, perfect everything, and they still can't do it. Because they're that insecure. It makes you think they're probably a narc. Not every narc came from a broken household. Some narcs come from like perfect families. Like almost too perfect to the point where they were coddled, they were given everything, they never faced adversity, so they end up that way, entitled. Don't feel they need to give any of themselves away. but they demand everything from everybody else while not even thinking about the other person and what they have to do. They're that entitled. They think they just deserve everything from everybody else. Like, no. You need to connect with them too. It's not you just gaining things from other people. You have to be able to connect with a person as well to make things work. If you can't do that, you got nothing. You're just using people. It's not going to work out. And I get it. You can be closed off to some people. In fact, a lot of people. But you have to be able to give yourself to certain select individuals in this world. You have to. If you can't, you're fucked. If you don't want to, I get it, but don't even start to pretend like you want to and then you don't do it, because that is abusive. It's abusive to the opposite person you're dealing with. A lot of these girls today, they don't care that they're getting a bunch of time and attention from other guys, stringing them along just enough so they can keep them, and they're never like giving anything good to these guys, while these guys are working tooth and nail, fighting tooth and nail to please these girls. Like, when you do that, you're in a bad position, a very bad position. You're giving so much away and you're getting nothing in return. It's like paying rent instead of paying for your own house. No one should pay high rent. If you're going to pay rent, you should pay very low rent until you can actually get your own house, get your own place, and then pay for your own house. Because then you're paying yourself. It's still your money. People that pay high rent at expensive places, that money's gone. Your money's gone, your money's gone, your money's gone. You'll never see it again. You're losing money. And it's just the way it is. If you invest into the right person, it's like paying for your house. You're investing into the right thing, and by the time it's all said and done, you're going to make so much more money off of your house when you actually sell it, if you do sell it. It's going to be worth so much more in 10, 15, 20 years' time. So you get rewarded for that. You never get rewarded for paying high rent at a place that's just not yours. You don't. You lose that money. So if you invest in the wrong people, you lose. You gave so much good stuff away. Nothing. Nothing to look for. That person, in fact, is actually gone at that point. Like, you invested into something that didn't even exist in your life. Now they could be with some, like, other people doing other things. What the fuck is that? They could be with other people doing other things. And now it's you who invested so much and you get no return. It's just, now there's nothing. So now you gotta move on from that situation and start to invest in other things. And I recommend you guys, if something like this happens, invest everything into yourself for at least another while before you'll even think about investing into another person. Because if you invest into a person and you get robbed of everything, you're now not in a position to invest into another person where you could potentially get robbed again, because now you're looking to go bankrupt. That is not what you want to do. You're not living your life just to benefit everybody else and get no return back. You must get a return. You must. Like, I will never invest into another thing in my fucking life without getting some kind of return. You need to get some kind of return from the work, from the passion, for whatever it is that you're doing, you must get a return. Because you're wasting your energy. You're pouring into something like a black hole that's going to suck everything up. And you get nothing. Could you imagine gardening? Every year, you plant seeds. You do this. You do that. You work real hard. You make this garden. And you get no vegetables. But that was your plan. Was to grow vegetables. And you get none. Could you imagine? Let's say if you're a cannabis smoker. Could you imagine investing? Putting all your time and effort and energy into growing weed plants. So you can smoke your own cannabis. And it does not work out. It's a failed investment. That is failed time. That is wasted time. Because you get no return. Sucks. And guess what, guys? You will invest into certain things in life. Whether it's people, whether it's things. That you will fail. The point is you learn from your failure. The point is if you invest into the wrong people, like maybe narcs, you learn from your failures. You don't make the same mistakes again. You'll be more careful of who you invest into. And it's the same thing with like, it's the same thing with everything really. You invest into your house. It's your house. It's still your money. You can sell it at some point and it'll be all good. There's smart investments. There's stupid investments. There's investments you will invest into and it will fail. Just make sure you learn from those things. Because if not, you'll probably fail time and time and time and time again. And it's just something I'm not interested in doing because I fucking hate losing. What the fuck is that, man? Something's flying around here. I don't know what that is. But I'm going to kill it after this video, I know that much. Just be careful, bro. At the end of the day, just be careful. Like, there's idiots out there. There's idiotic dudes out there investing so much into females that literally don't even respect you. Like, they don't even respect you. They don't respect your time and effort you're giving them, you're putting into them. They don't respect you as a person. But yet you give them attention. You give them time. You're investing into something that doesn't even appreciate you. That is stupid. You are an idiot. You could be using that time to invest in yourself so you can become more valuable. And then maybe invest in a person, they'll respect you more, and then you can get a better return. You see what I'm saying here? You got to be smart in life, guys. And that's the whole point of this video. It's a good analogy, really. And of course, people are different than things, but we can use it as an analogy to make it make sense, if that makes sense. Don't invest in narcs. Invest in a people that's going to give you a good return. Because we're not here to get used. We're not. We are here to do good for others, and others will do good for us. We're not here to do good for people that's going to be a backstabbing bum that's going to take advantage of us. It ain't going to fucking happen. It ain't going to fucking happen. So, don't do that dumb shit. End of story. And now this flying fucking lizard must die.